Oh, I see. What you're doing on Zoom? You're doing something on Zoom.
No, yes, but I'm going live through Zoom.
Yeah.
I'm going live on a channel.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, guys. Yes. So we are live on Zoom.
We are live, ready to broadcast. So go ahead. Let's do it.
Okay, let's see. So people, welcome to the BTC podcast, BTC Curacao Podcast. Today we have William. William, maybe you can say hi to all the people around us.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to BTC Curacao Podcast. Hopefully, semi-weekly, monthly kind of occurrence that we'll try to develop for the community.
Yes, and I will share my screen with you all. We are broadcasting from Curacao. So for the other people who will just join, we are broadcasting from Curacao. And let me share my screen. So you see my screen, right, Peter?
Yes.
William?
Yes.
So the topic of today is we're going to talk a little bit about some things regarding Bitcoin. So if this is your first time watching the show, Curacao is a beautiful island. Let me share the YouTube link to William, so that William can send it to everybody. So William, this is in the chat in Zoom. We have that. We have the YouTube link where we're streaming. So Curacao is a beautiful island in the Caribbean, and we call it home. And from Curacao, we talk about Bitcoin, what it can mean to improve the lives of the people living on island communities. So we are interested in Curacao and also all islands in the Caribbean and in the world. This is just a 1 hour conversation we are starting. We will make things easy and break it down for you and give you the latest fresh updates. William is much more technical than I am, so if there are any difficult things, William can break it down, right? To everybody. And finally, we might invite interesting guests to join us and inform you, the audience, about why you should care about Bitcoin. So nothing in this show is investment advice. This is for educational and entertainment purposes only. And you should never trust us, right? And you should only never trust the guest. As the saying goes, don't trust, verify. So let's start with the first interesting topic of today. The topic of today is how can Bitcoin transform your island economy? And we're going to talk about the case of Curacao. How can Bitcoin transform the island economy? And first of all, William and I have been in a new community.
Ronnie, before you continue, maybe go up to where it says 100% on the top tile and pick
Yes.
Pick
yes.
So it makes it a little bit bigger.
Or you want to make it a little bit bigger for the older people around us?
I guess.
Do you want this?
Yeah, that's better. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. So William is going to talk. William, tell me about Keat, about the peer-to-peer chat Pete, and I will stop the sharing right now so you can be right on screen. Tell me a little bit about Keat.
Yeah,
what is it?
So Keat is a technology that's called end-to-end encryption. So it's a peer-to-peer end-to-end encryption, which means that the connections between individuals are done from user or from one node from one person to another person, and there's never a middleman. In IT terms, they're called client server. So everybody knows you're the client, and you go get a file, it goes to the server or to the cloud, and that's how you do the client server relationship. And Keat uses the technology of or the design of peer-to-peer encrypted end-to-end in a client that each node or let's call it client is also a server. So you're a server and a client, and every one person participating in the network is a client and a server. So when you connect to someone, you are serving your video basically. Like in this case, Ronnie and I are serving both servers because you're serving our image as a video to the other person, and that's a server side, and the client side is the me looking at Ronnie's, for example. So I'm the client looking at his server, what he's feeding me. So that's what client server. So let me see if I can share my screen. If you can give me access to share my screen.
No, let me share my screen. Let me as we checked it, let me just share my screen first, because when I share my screen, I will show you, and then it gives you time to just talk around it.
Okay, so go to.
Let me see. Wait.
You gotta go to.
We want to see Keat.
Holepunch. No, holepunch.to.
Is it Holepunch? No, I want Keat. Isn't it Keat?
No, because Holepunch is the infrastructure behind it.
Holepunch.eo. Let me just, okay. How do you put Holepunch? Like, are you sure? Holepunch?
Yeah, HOLEPUNCH.to. Okay.
Okay, you can also share, because when holepunch.eo is let me share my screen and you will see it. Share.
I can share the screen.
Well, share. Okay, try to share it then.
All right, so here you'll see my screen. You can see it?
Yes.
Okay, so this is Holepunch. So if anybody goes to holepunch.to, this is the peer-to-peer infrastructure. It's open source code, and it's all modular stack. And this gives you information about the different types of architecture behind the documentation. Everything that you need to know is all here.
Can I have a question? So Holepunch, break it down to me. What is it? Is it if people are developing? Are we talking to developers and they should look at this?
Right. So Holepunch think of Holepunch as the infrastructure, bare bones, bottom part, open source kind of software that holds all the other applications on top. One of the first applications that they have is the one I have on the screen. It's called Pair by Holepunch. So Pair by Holepunch is combined peer-to-peer runtime development software. That's where you build all these applications. And then the first application that has been built to prove this technology is Keat. So I'm gonna jump over to Keat. I don't know. Can you still see the screen?
It is still the same screen. No, it's Keat. Okay, but just wait 1 second. There are many people in the audience. There are technical people and there are users like me. I'm also a little bit technical, but the Holepunch is the development system where you develop everything, where you write everything. And then for the consumers, for people who want to use it, they have the application just like people who want to move from WhatsApp, from Signal, from anything. They are now using the first application, which is Peer. which is Keith.
Keith.
Yes.
It's a
Okay.
peer-to-peer chat. Think of it as a peer-to-peer chat, just like
Yes.
WhatsApp, just like Signal, the same thing. So if you go to Keith.io, you can download based on your app on your platform. So if you have Windows, you will download Windows client. If you have Linux, you will download Linux client. And you have Mac, you download Mac. So in my case, I have Keith for Linux because I have a Linux machine. So that's it. This is just it just gives you a brief explanation of what this application does. Very similar to Signal. So that's basically
and we know this is free. This is free.
Yes, this is open source software. It's for free, and you can evaluate the code.
Yes.
It's all for everybody to use. It's nothing.
So all the people from Curacao or friends who are watching this episode right now, our first invitation for you is go to Keith.io, download that application, and then the next step. How can they join? How can they join?
The way you would do this is that you create a room.
Yes.
Like when you create a Zoom room or you create a WhatsApp group or whatever you want to do, you create a room in Keith. So you download the software, you create a Keith, and that becomes your personal room or the first room that you're gonna. And then you invite people into the room. So when you invite people, you will send them a link.
Okay.
And the users then what they do is they're using that same client. They will say, I'm going to join a room, because the options are to create a room or to join a room. So it depends on who's creating, So Ronnie, right now, we have a room already created. So he will go to that room called BTC Curacao Keith room. And currently there are, if I'm not mistaken, 22 members. So he will post that in the message, in the chat room, and he generates this key that allows users to join that room, basically. So when you're joining that room, you will use that client that you downloaded for Keith. You'll join the room, and then you will be active in that room where Ronnie and I are. This is software that is being developed. It's cutting edge technology, so it's on the verge of innovation. It's peer-to-peer. It's private. It's secured. There is no third or middleman involved, like we do with Signal or even this Zoom call. Think about Zoom. Zoom is you're trusting Zoom, so Zoom gets to at least get information about who's participating in these calls. But in the case of Keith, there's nobody out there that can snoop into the conversations or the developments that are happening in those rooms, because you're trusting only the people who are in those rooms. Obviously, if you would invite a hacker into the room, just like we have in the past, hackers getting into Zoom meetings, that is a user problem. That's not a technology problem. But in terms of outside influences trying to get into those conversations, then that's the whole idea of Keith.
So thank you, William. Once you have that, download that Keith.io, give it to your friends, give it to your family, especially Bitcoiners on Curacao in the Caribbean. And now I'm going to share you, because we already prepared this. William and I have been working on this. I think maybe we are the first one in Curacao, William. Do you think that?
Maybe.
Okay, so do you see my screen? You see my screen now?
Yes.
So we are in a screen, and that is Bitcoin Curacao. And as you can see, there are many, many other rooms. This is a room. And in this room, I'm scrolling, we have all the conversations. We have seen a lot of people, and we have all conversations. There are 22 members right now, because we just started with this. And this community is peer-to-peer. So it means that we will invite you to get into this room. And William, maybe you can help me. You know the link to this room, because I'm showing the room. Maybe you can.
Okay, so if you scroll all the way to the bottom,
yes,
you see a little message that says one message. You can click on that in the center, bottom center. So if you click
Yes.
on the bottom center,
Yes.
it's you to the bottom, and it says hi everyone. I think that was me. So I just
Yes.
posted that. Now, if you want to invite somebody in, you will go into the room on the top right corner. There's a little
Yes.
icon. There's a little icon with a user. You
With a
click on
plus.
that.
Yes.
You click on that, and it gives you options. Do you
Yes.
want to, generate a link that's 2 days long, 2 hours long, 2 days, or 2 weeks? You pick whatever you want that link to expire, basically. So go ahead and
Yes.
pick one and say generate link,
Are we going to say 2 weeks? We are going to give them 2 weeks.
whatever you want.
Yes. Generate the link. Yes.
The users you could do this from your phone, or you could do it from your computer, and you can scan that, or you can copy at the bottom right. There's a little tiny copy
Yes.
link, right? Now, what you're going to do now, you're going to tell the audience. So you go to the Zoom chat and you paste it there.
Yes. So these people, we are just showing you live how you can join the decentralized peer-to-peer community of Bitcoin.
So if somebody's watching the chat, they will see, and you can put the chat on the screen as well if you want, Ronnie.
Yes, there are. Okay, in the Zoom, I think we two are the only one in the Zoom, right? So we two are the only one in the Zoom call. So there is nobody in the Zoom.
Right, but you could show your chat on the screen if you can.
I don't want to do that. Let me see.
If you click on chat,
Yes.
and then you pop up, and then that bring it into the but the point is that in the chat you will see a long link called peer key, and that's what you do. You will paste that link into your client.
Yes.
Once you paste the link into the client, you will join this room.
Yes.
That's basically
yes. So basically, I just want to, I'm still sharing my screen. I just want to show some people, especially the people on Curacao. On Curacao, we want to export, and William and I will be going on that, what it means for the Caribbean, what it means for Curacao. So let me just bridge that, going from peer to this. Why do we share this to you? Because you already see that Bitcoin, that the peer-to-peer community, that now you can create your own peer-to-peer community from Curacao. You can be joining. So look at this. You join, for instance, the Bitcoin Curacao, but this is the peer community. So William just showed that there is the whole hole punch and developer community. Imagine you are living on Curacao, or you are a Curacao person living in the United States, living in the Netherlands. Now, you can click here and you can join the peer-to-peer community, the peer community, the developer community. Look at this one. Another, I'm already in there, the development, the peer development. So globally, these people are developing decentralized apps. Now, you understand? So there are a lot of possibilities. There is a Bitcoin community, not a Bitcoin Curacao, but a broader Bitcoin community. You see, that's also peer-to-peer.
It's almost 2,000 members in that one.
Yeah, so we are not, William and I, you see here on the top, almost 2,000 members. So what is it? Curacao, people, we love you. We want you to wake up and join the peer-to-peer, also Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is also peer-to-peer technology. We want you to join this community. First, join Bitcoin Curacao, not Bitcoin Curacao. Where is it? It's not on WhatsApp. It's not on Facebook. It's not on Signal. No, it's also on Signal. But it's not on Twitter. It is on Keat, on Pierce. It's open source. You understand? William, anything to add to that?
Yeah, one of the benefits of this peer-to-peer is that normally, if you wanted to share big files or movies or information, videos, whatever you need to share, and you were using all these legacy platforms like Zoom or even Signal, WhatsApp, there's a limit in how big these files can be transferred. Because you're using resources from servers that are provided by these centralized applications, right? What Keep brings to the table is the unlimited resources. In other words, you can share terabytes of data. So I could be sharing a terabyte database to Ronnie in this one room we're in Keep. And there is no limit. He will, as long as I'm connected and I share a file in Keep, that file will be available for Ronnie to grab that file and get access to it. So there's no limit in the space. So that's another big.
So you don't. I don't need to WeTransfer anymore.
That's right. If WeTransfer is a way. It's the end of WeTransfer, because think about it. You can have an account on your computer where you have all your movies, and let's say your local computer in your home. You could have a laptop, or you can have somebody far away that has a Mac or a Windows machine, and you would like to share that movie with them. Now, if it's a terabyte or gigabytes of data, it's very difficult to transfer that amount of data through any of these platforms. So what you do is you send them a Keep room, you set up a Keep room, and you join. You add that person, maybe it's your relatives, your friends, family, and then they will be able to join that room, and you put the file in there, and they will get it. They will get the file like it was in real time, and like if that file was locally there for them to have. So,
and nobody, and basically nobody knows that you are doing this. So there is no server, there is nobody spying on you, right?
That's right. It's end-to-end encrypted, and you are the server. Let's put it that way. When you connect, you are the server. Remember what I said at the beginning? We are both client and server at the same time.
Yes. So I think this is great, William. This is great. So now, William, what are some I heard some other islands. So Madeira, I heard there was a Bitcoin conference in Madeira, and I saw that also Michael Saylor talked there, many other people talked there. What other islands in the world are people, except from Curacao, are they based using Bitcoin? What is that? What is the usage of baseball? Do you know other islands that are focused like Curacao on using Bitcoin?
Well, Curacao is one of the biggest users of Bitcoin in terms of acceptance. So BTC Curacao map. I don't know if you can search that website. You could. It's an app where you can download and run, and it has a map of the world, and you could pick the vendors or the establishments that accept Bitcoin as payment worldwide. So if you look, and it has a lot of information on that website, but that website gives you also ratings into the acceptance.
And Peter created it, right? Peter?
No. This is created by open.
Okay, so I got BTC Curacao, but you want BTC.
Okay, so if you go see that if you go to BTC Curacao, it gives you information about Curacao. But in the top, at the right, you see that map that shows.
Yes.
So that map is BTC Curacao. Let me see if I can get the actual
URL.
It's got, just search for BTC map. Let me see if I can find it, and I'll post it in the BTC
map.
So btcmap.org. So
yes, I got it. I'm showing it. I'm showing on the screen.
So btcmap.org.
I'm showing it here.
Is a website that allows you to it gives you statistics about the usage of Bitcoin. And right now, btc.org has Curacao as number 5 out of list of, I don't know.
I'm showing btcmap.org. on screen?
Go to leaderboard. Go to the chat. Go to the chat and click on it.
Where? The
Go to the
stat?
chat. Go to the chat on Zoom. Go to the chat on Zoom.
Yes.
On Zoom, go to the chat.
Yes, yes.
And then click on the link that I just posted. There you go. All right. So you will see that number 5 is Curacao.
So, William, I'm going to put my flag a little bit on Curacao in the screen so that the people, we are going to celebrate this. Just give me a perspective, the whole world. What does this mean for me, for Curacao? And especially talk to the people. Listen, talk to the people in the government. Talk to the people a little bit who want to do business on Curacao, who want to do business with Curacao from other islands, from US. What does this mean?
All right, so if you go to the top, it says top countries insight into Bitcoin adoption worldwide. What does that mean?
Yes.
It means that you have it been sorted by position based on the total locations that accept Bitcoin in that territory or that country.
Yes.
So if you look at, for example, Chechnya has 671 locations.
Yes.
And they've been graded because you could have 1,000 locations, but if it's graded bad, in other words, it's not true, or the establishments don't actually know about Bitcoin, but they're in the map, they get a bad rating. So there's a grade associated with that. Then you have Brazil with 878. You see, 878, Brazil has more than Chechnya, but their grade is lower, meaning that there might be some false positives. You have Georgia is another one, Highland, and then Curacao. So Curacao, we have 63 establishments, and our the grading, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stars. So it basically means that out of the 63 locations, there's a high degree of correctness to this. So in other words, if you go to the map and you go to Curacao, so I don't know if you can put the map on the screen, but if you look at the map in Curacao, you will see different pictures, or different locations within the map that will give you the so go on to the top right, click on map.
Let me see, go to top right.
Top left, sorry, top left.
Yeah, top left, map.
And just scroll down over to Curacao.
Zooming in, Curacao, people all over the world watching this. We are here on the Bitcoin map. What else?
So you will see Curacao has 61 locations. In Bandabao, you got 2 locations. So as you zoom in, you will see. So if you zoom in, let's pick that dive center at I think it's Willabor. Where is it? It's
number 1.
Playa Dai Boy. Playa Dai Boy. Go to Playa Dai Boy. On the left, top left. Bandabao.
Oh, there?
Bandabao. Go to Bandabao, man. Drive to Bandabao.
Yes. Okay, here. Lagoon.
No.
Around here?
Bandabao. Right there, right? The diver, like the little diver guy.
Yes, yes.
There you go. Yeah. So you go there and you will see this one location accepts Bitcoin.
Yes.
You see? It gives you information about the Divers Republic. That's a diver. So this is a company, a small vendor, a small entrepreneur that has the majority of his customers are from from Europe, from America.
Yes.
And he provides the ability to accept Bitcoin.
William, I went to Canada, and then I told you guys in the chat that a taxi driver, taxi 123, we have to give this man a promotion. He accepts Bitcoin, and I just able to pay my cab ride from my home to the airport of Curacao with Sats. So it's already working. And when a taxi driver, when the people, ordinary people, working hard for their money, when they are using this technology, this already tells you that it is going to the masses.
Right. So one thing to highlight here is that we have Curacao is just like you saw that top countries of acceptance. What that means
Yes.
is that the businesses are accepting Bitcoin.
Yeah. Go back to BTC map. No.
Yeah,
Yes.
whatever you want.
Yes.
Yeah, you can go to the map.
Okay. Okay.
The point is that this is ranked number 5 or number 6 on the list
Curacao is RAM. Yes.
based on acceptance, right?
Yes.
So what that means is that the users or the vendors are seeing traffic into their establishments based on this new other currency that they can accept.
Yes.
Now,
I think Peter also joined. Let me see if Peter joined. Because Peter, I saw
You can hear me?
Peter. Yes, Peter. Peter.
hey, there's Peter.
Sorry.
Hey, my friend.
Hey, Peter. I'm holding the flag
Nice.
to congratulate you and your community, you and our community for Curacao,
Yeah.
that we are on number 5 of this ranking globally.
Yay.
Hey, drum rolls. William, let the music in. Let the music in.
Yeah,
So
we were just discussing the ranking. You know, where is Curacao in terms of the world, and
Yeah.
what does that mean?
So I wanted to
for
clarify.
example, one location in Bandabao in a dive shop.
Yes.
That Bitcoin, among others, basically.
Peter, introduce yourself for the people shortly for the people here, because I'm going to ask you some questions why you live on Curacao and all of the places you could have gone to, Barbados, to Aruba, to St. Martin, to all Bermuda, and you chose our beautiful Curacao.
Yes. Well, I'm a Canadian software developer living in Curacao and directing BTC Curacao project. And I just wanted to make a point on the BTC map that there was a presentation at a previous Adopting Bitcoin conference, and they showed statistics there, like per capita and per square kilometer. But when you go on the main btcmap.org, the normal leaderboard is ranked either by community or by country. And in both cases, we're ranked pretty highly. And that rank is also conditional on how up to date your like the locations in your map data is. So some places have data that's more than a year old, and that impacts them getting ranked. So maybe they have more locations than us, but if it's out of date, that negatively affects their ranking.
Mm-hmm. So we are on just because we are talking about, we have to move on the topic for today also, but we are already talking. We are positioned in Curacao and other islands, and I see here Cayman Islands is number 11. Cayman Islands is a very developed economy, tourism based, and also, and Curacao is number 5, Cayman number 11, Ivory Coast. Let me see.
So I'm sharing the screen right now. So what we're talking about, this is the
Yes. So I'm just putting like Latvia, like the Andorra, many other islands and countries. Curacao is on top. So for the politicians, for the people, for the ministers, next year there will be an election on Curacao. Peter, William, just tell me about this map, what we should be doing to get to a higher position, and then let's move to the topic more of today. What should we be doing? Peter, for you first.
So, Bitcoiners should be considered a separate economic cohort, and potentially also a separate culture that could have targeted tourism advertising. So, for example, there's other communities that feel safe coming to Curacao, like the gay and lesbian community, and there's advertisements specifically to those communities, and then they feel safe coming to Curacao, and there's hotels that are popular in their community.
Yes.
And Bitcoiners, if you look at the BTC map, like the Android app, for example, there maybe is only 1,000 or 2,000 downloads. So we need to help promote that app around. And then people who use that app, you know, Curacao is kind of attractive for them because spending lags behind savings with Bitcoin. So a part of the cohort who's spending has, you know, they're in profits. They've been holding Bitcoin for more than 5 years. So they don't want to go spend Bitcoin at a dangerous country or city. They want to spend Bitcoin in a safe country or city.
Yeah.
And that's what Curacao offers. And then Curacao offers luxury as well. And if people are spending Bitcoin and traveling on an airplane, then we can assume that they might be a luxury tourist as well. And so
Yes.
it's kind of a perfect triangulation for Curacao, I think.
Yes. So Peter, another question. While William is putting everything on screen, another question. Maybe William, let's give them the map. Let's unshare so that we can see Peter, because this is personal for me. Peter, what is your experience as a Canadian relocated to Curacao and using BTC here?
Well, I relocated to Curacao before there was BTC. And for me, part of it is spending BTC is a little bit like going on a trail through the forest or the jungle where there isn't actually a trail or a path. So you have to kind of cut that trail or path. And I notice for a lot of Bitcoin influencers and podcasters who are in big cities, they often talk about using their Lightning wallet when they're on vacation. They're going to go to Bitcoin Jungle in Costa Rica. They're going to go to El Zonte in El Salvador. And for me, the experience here in Curacao is just going outside, asking people if they want to take Bitcoin. And some of them say yes. So it seems to be that the merchants here are innovative, open-minded, forward-thinking, and in other places, Bitcoiners are getting robotic, bureaucratic, protocol-based, mega corporation answers. And so for me, it's there's a joy in orange pilling people and spending Bitcoin that you don't get when you're spending fiat. And it's a little bit like you don't have to wait for hyper Bitcoinization. You can just start making that happen for yourself. And realistically, it's so early that, you know, we're not going to get near 100% of our daily needs paid in Bitcoin, but getting 10% of your monthly costs spent in Bitcoin and then growing that to 25% and then 50% and then 75%. That's kind of the journey we take to hyper Bitcoinization.
Yes. So Peter, while you are talking, I'm going to ask you a question, and I'm sharing my screen, and what I'm sharing is the coin market cap. Okay? So that all the people from Curacao, the politicians, the parliamentarians, etc. BTC Curacao Podcast is not political. We are not talking about politics. There are advisors, there are software developers, there are economists. William is a super person doing a lot of things which I cannot even count on a hand. But if there are elections coming, and there are elections coming next year, so if we are looking at the BTC market cap, which is the coins times the price, and you are seeing here 1.3 trillion, right? And the economy of Curacao, so 1.3 trillion is the market cap, and Bitcoin is the top. You are seeing my screen, and then Ethereum is the second one, is, what is it, 400 billion, right?
Yes.
So the economy, I'm an economist, I'm a macroeconomist. The economy of Curacao is about maybe 2.5 billion And this is 1.3 trillion. So Curacao, and I know also the economy of many other small islands. I can provide that 12 countries, 12 islands in the world. There are 30 million people in the Caribbean. So all those small islands, they do not have an economy that is 1.3 trillion market cap. And gold, for the people outside there, gold is about 10 trillion market cap, 10 trillion US dollars. So
Okay. Can I make a point?
Yes. So what does this mean?
Okay, so with gold, they say that it's 13 trillion market cap, but it's like 4 trillion of that is like the financial part of gold, and the other 8 trillion is like jewelry and industrial uses, or it's flipped, like it's 2/3, 1/3. And in Bitcoin, because of Gresham's law, and the network effect of how adoption's rolling out, we have to understand that the spending economy lags behind as 1/20th. So we really have to take that number 1.3 trillion and just take 5% of it. And that's the part of the Bitcoin economy that's spendable, like for goods and services, available to capture by merchants who are offering goods and services.
So 5%. So we will provide that in the Keith room, in the Keith BTC Curacao Keith room. We will go through this episode and provide those numbers. 5%, you say, but still, if you are looking at this, just one question, and William, you can also join in. If you are looking at this, and it's not only Curacao who's watching this, but Barbados, Antigua, Anguilla, Bermuda, what do you think they need to do? Because can they ignore this? There might be people who say, no, we ignore this 1.3 trillion market cap. Can they ignore this? Is it safe? Is it a good bet to ignore this?
Well, to quote Safedine Ammous, it's like Bitcoin's being adopted by gunpowder was adopted. So if you ignore it, you'll be its victim. So there's massive inflation going on throughout the world, and everyone, meaning individuals, corporations, and governments, have to put some in their treasury as a hedge against all this printing.
Yeah. So the last thing I want to show, William, you can also join in. I'm going to the market cap, and this is a free website, coinmarketcap.com. We can copy that and put that into the show notes. But what you see here, all time, when you see all time, don't look only at Bitcoin this week, last week. We are not traders. Most of the Bitcoiners in Bitcoin Curacao are not traders. We are just investors. And look at the all-time market cap, and you see that it's going out. And William also says zoom out, right? William, join in. Zoom out.
So the whole point of Bitcoin is a currency, is a network, and it's a commodity. It's a lot of things together, and it's a store of value. Now, gold traditionally was not failed in a lot of aspects that Bitcoin picked up. So one of them, from quoting from the book of Stephanopoulos, the guy Bitcoin Standard, is that the Bitcoin is a store of value, and it's over time, right? And it's also it's saleable over space, meaning that I can transfer it from one individual to another over this new medium, which is the internet. It's been around for more 50 years or so, right? So gold could not do that. Now, what's happening through all these countries is that because of the heavy regulation and the heavy arm of the financial market, which is that legacy part that works on having sound money at the core and be able to fractionally, use IOUs to use debt, to use Keynesian theories and all these other things to be able to expand economies. That's been the name of the game, because physical gold, has not provided that. So because physical gold it has a limitation. In 2009, that limitation was lifted with this experiment from the white paper that when Bitcoin was discovered basically by these geniuses that had all these ideas and innovations in the past, all put together by this Satoshi Bitcoin white paper. So now these countries have the ability to use this new, let's say, gold version, new version, as a store of value, but also the ability to transfer it. So now you're not only storing over time, you're also being able to transfer over space. So we recently had the Bitcoin ETF go live in one of the biggest financial markets, which is the financial market in the United States. Now, the ETF is just a wrap of this one commodity called Bitcoin, or what the financial market calls Bitcoin. And this ETF allows you to transfer that as a paper money going back and forth. Because remember, most of these mechanisms, financial mechanisms, are not adapted to this new way that we're talking about, which is transferring value using Bitcoin as a medium of exchange. So these countries are now tapping into this new ETF, doing the same thing. So it's a gradual process, moving and searching for this new sound money idea, because obviously the fiat experiment that we've started in the 70s and back even before that has failed, and it's failing every government out there. So all these fiat currencies are lowering in value. In other words, your purchasing power is dying, and Bitcoin is staying the same. So when people say, oh, well, Bitcoin price went up, that doesn't mean that Bitcoin price went up. It means that your currency, your fiat local currency, has now devalued and go down. So Bitcoin is the same. A Roman soldier, a Roman prominent person back in Rome was able to buy a suit, very prominent suit, for a banquet or whatever back in the day for 1 ounce of gold. That same ounce of gold buys the same very fancy suit today. Bitcoin is exactly the same. It's not that gold went up in price. It meant that your purchasing power went down. And
your money.
So that's the reality that we're living in. And if you're not, like Peter said, if you're not in the side of gunpowder or the printing press, you either get shot or you just don't learn anything because you're not reading books. As simple as that.
Okay, I have an announcement, but before I go to that announcement, So I did an experiment. I just did an experiment. Peter, we started with Keith. William and I have been joining this Keith community, and we put BTC Curacao in there. And I joined, and William joined many other Bitcoin rooms where they are developing Keith. And what I just did is I put this episode, the YouTube, I put it into the Bitcoin, the global Bitcoin Keith community with 2,000 people. And I just said, hey, we are here live from Curacao. So the people on Curacao and also other islands in the Caribbean, if you want to attract interest for your country, not only tourism, traditionally you would have a minister going on a trade mission, etc. But in the peer-to-peer world, it is like, I mean, maybe Peter knows 2,000 people, or Peter knows 6 people who are connected to a big investor. You see? So this experiment just shows you, like, what we're talking here. It is not only go do this Keith thing because we like it. It is a survival strategy for Ireland. So what I mean is, okay, we just showed you Keith. We told you that we are linked from Curacao, an island, but you can also do it on other islands. We told you that we are linked to those people. And then I just put that link in there, and those people will, maybe 5% or 1% will see Curacao. And they will see that Curacao is also interested in Bitcoin, that we are doing here, that we are doing a community. I mean, can you tell me, Peter and William, I mean, you have been in these communities all the time. Is that how it works now? Peer to peer. Is that how it works? Well, how business is done?
Well, I think you're highlighting part of how we get Curacao on the map in the Bitcoin community, and that's through Telegram and through Twitter. And I think as a community, we've been doing that over the last year. So people now have heard of the Bitcoin Reef, they've heard of Curacao, they're maybe like putting it on their short list of places to travel. And I think like incentivizing investors is kind of like a big goal that's maybe like a few milestones up. And I think we first have to start more humbly with like attracting vacationers. And, you know, it starts with like a person falls in love with Curacao for a vacation. Then they think about they want to come back every year. Then they start thinking about, oh, they want to have like a winter home and a summer home, or 3 homes. Maybe they're nomadic and they spend 4 months a year in different places. And there's Bitcoiners and nomads doing that. And if we can get them to pick Curacao as one of their 3 places, naturally that will lead them to invest here, you know, first in a place to live, and then maybe in a business or other parts of our economy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think all channels, to me, like what Peter's saying, locally, humbly, you know, work. This is how we got where we are now. It's just starting with the grassroots from the bottom up. But when there's an opportunity to just put our country out there in some, whether it's BTC map, whether it's Keat, whether it's somewhere else, just put Curacao out there in the map. It will trigger this like, whoa, I didn't know about that. I mean, back in the day, we all were kind of like insulted every time they said, you know, where do you live? You know, and I would say we live in Curacao, and I get that question all the time, and they would say, well, where is Curacao? And then I would have to go through the whole process of saying, okay, it's an island off of Venezuela. Do you know Aruba? And say, oh yeah, I know what Aruba is. Oh, it's next to it. And you know, it's like it doesn't make sense. And now I've noticed that when you say the word Curacao, the majority of people know exactly what it. You don't even have to bring up Aruba. So just getting the word out there and getting the things. And then, by the way, this also provides a new technology, new innovation. Getting these people interested in this new technology opens up the door for the young generation to say, hey, we can develop not only on Bitcoin, but we can develop applications around the innovation that Bitcoin brings. And that's also huge. So
yes.
any
Okay.
bit helps.
I want to just paint a picture, Rooney, for a second, of tourism and like, let's say the next realistic goal. Imagine if every month we had 100 Bitcoiners from overseas coming here. That would mean 25 Bitcoiners a week. That would mean every single restaurant that like accepts Bitcoin would probably get visited once per day.
Yes.
You know, or like once per week, maybe.
Yes.
You know, like 25 Bitcoiners, 7 days, 21 meals. You know, if you average it out, now the businesses are like, oh, Bitcoin's a thing. People are showing up. They found us through this map, and the cashiers are practicing and not like, oh, the boss isn't here, we don't know how to do it, or I forget, or maybe they accept Bitcoin, but that day they're shy and they say they don't. And so that's, I think, the next milestone that I would hope to see for Curacao, because it being a practice thing and there being like a few dozen restaurants that are always, you know, constantly getting Bitcoiners coming, that will like multiply and spread, because people will leave the island and they'll tell their Bitcoiner friends, and then there'll be FOMO, and then people will come. And I think this grassroots thing is how we make it happen.
Yes. Okay. Some announcements, and then we need to go to the end. For me, I'm an economist, and I also have some programming skills. But for me, this is essential for wealth in the economy. And then, you know, everybody can have a bank account. Everybody can have a wallet. Everybody can save their labor. So for me, that's the one part of it, why and Bitcoin as an investment. And the second part is there are technologies like the open source technology, etc. Okay, why do I say that? Because Curacao, Curacao wants to export tourism, they want to export technology, software. So, I mean, you have to diversify the economy. We cannot rely anymore on a polluting refinery. And Curacao is basically tourism destination, service destination. So I see a lot of opportunities. I mean, I feel like it is at the beginning of internet, remember maybe 1990 or something. And sometimes we miss the boat with different of those technologies, but this is another revolution, the financial decentralization, etc. So for me, it is why I'm into this, why I'm in BTC Curacao podcast. It is I want to share to the people in English. I want to attract other foreigners to see Curacao, what we are doing here, and maybe also have some episodes in Papiamento. So I want to leave it to you guys. Peter, what do you imagine that we need to do with this podcast? We might be once a month. We might invite people here, or twice a month. What are the topics and guests that you are looking for?
Well, I think firstly, if we do it once a month, then we can give updates on new places that accept Bitcoin or how things are developing here. We can relate our learning and progress to other circular economies. So I think talking about the global and how it relates to the local here matters in the circular economy sense. And I do hope that we can invite Papiamento as a first language speakers to join you, Rooney, and have a conversation with Papiamento that we could also circulate, on WhatsApp and YouTube, clips and stuff like that. Because I think the English clips are more for Twitter and the international audience, and then Papiamento clips for the local audience.
Yes. William, what are you looking for with this Curacao podcast?
Yeah, I would like always focused on the practical implications of implementing the acceptance of cryptocurrency into your business, whether it's Bitcoin, the ramifications of not doing it right, the tax implications, just the basic operations and process of holding Bitcoin and interacting with it and doing all these type of things. So I'm an actual auditor for C4, which is it's a standard that's trying to provide security and just a standard for the cryptocurrency community worldwide, which is an addendum to the ISO standard and the SOC 2 type of standard that's already out there. So I would love to provide more hands-on practicalities on this in this area for especially for the self-custodians, entrepreneurs out there that would like to receive Bitcoin and keep it themselves and have total ownership. So one of the scenarios that we're building in the C4 is a small self-custody scenario where these small entrepreneur will grab Bitcoins and be able to handle it. And you got to be certified, provide that certification to the public, whether it's your financial institution, your bank, or whoever it is, your investors. And this scenario is I'm actually building Ron. It's going to be live for the next version of the C4 standard, which has a Troquipan, and it has one of the names, which is a local the Fridays Troquipan.
Yes.
But it goes around all using what tools, wallet of Satoshi, Nunchuck wallet. How is that owner going to be able to handle those keys and that new cryptocurrency they're receiving for these new audience of people that are coming in and say, hey, I can not only pay with euros and dollars, I can also pay this new global currency called Bitcoin, which opens the door completely. And then you see the difference between the two. It's going to be obvious right in your face. So hopefully I'll be able to give more to the community in that sense. It's a practicality of it, the usage of it for both institutions and individuals.
Yes. So, William, thank you very much because you are one of the sponsors with your company of this BTC Curacao podcast, and without you, we couldn't have done it. So, where can people find you, William?
Yeah, I have a website called privkey.io. I put it in the chat. I put the cryptocurrencies standard consortium website, which C4, which it's a nonprofit organization. People can go there and get more information about that standard. I'm just a chat away. I'm very active in Twitter, in Signal, if you join the group, and Keat now. So I'm just a chat away, and anybody wants to find information from me, and I'm glad to help out whenever I can.
Peter, how did you like it today? Anything can be improved? I try to improve my sound regarding
the sound still feels loud for me, but well, in our group chat we can go over anything, but I missed the first half, so I don't have much feedback. And I was just going to say, at BTC Curacao you can find me.
Yes. Okay. So I think I want to thank you all for this episode, and William, maybe next time you can take the seat, or Peter, and I'll try to.
I think you're doing good driving. Actually, I like that.
Yes,
I like you driving.
Because so
William and I might go really deep on technical things, and you bring us back to, hey, there's brand new people listening. So
yes. I'm brand new. So what I'm saying is, I tested this with William, etc. But I also have some technical knowledge, etc. But I'm also interested. I'm always interested in what can I do. I mean, for my passion, what can I do for the people of Curacao? Because there is a lot of poverty, there is a lot of wealth in Curacao, but there is also people who want to survive. And I know what is happening with the monetary printing and everything, and that affects a lot of the Caribbean islands. You see, so every opportunity where it is like, okay, there is this key thing. If I am a software developer in Curacao, if I'm a student living in the Netherlands, graduating, I can go into that technology. I can become a software developer, you see, and then make a profit of it or make a living out of it. I mean, Peter, you are a software developer yourself, etc. So I see that Keat as a tool, but I see the underlying hole punch and pierce technology. I see it as a framework that we as an island can join. And my interest is, how can we bring wealth to the people? You see, so that's what I'm doing in my business, is helping small island economies and communities become wealthier, get out of poverty, sustainable development. And this is a really, really, really good opportunity. So so people, we will put everything in the show notes, and you can find me. I will put also my link to LinkedIn, and I have a YouTube channel, Island Wealth channel. So thank you very much. You can see me there. I think we will go off right now, and thank you very much for everything. So let me stop the sharing, and then just 1 second, and then I stop the sharing, and I will let you know. Okay? Great. Let me see.